It's fine.
Welcome back to the drug hour.
We've loaded up our food with exclusively MDMA.
You think that's cotija cheese? Nah, bitch, that's ecstasy.
We're all gonna die.
If you're following along with us, why don't you light up a little MDMA?
You don't smoke it. What the fuck?
Wait, you don't? No. How do you take Molly?
You take it in like capsules. You fucking smoke it. That'll kill you. That will actually kill you. Holy shit.
Yeah, we're smoking Molly in 2020.
Ooh.
All right.
Well,
welcome back to the Lunchtime Serenade podcast. Yes. Oh, I'm still rich. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're still
my
rich?
accountant.
oh, it's tight. I should probably do my taxes.
Dude, fuck. I need
Yikes.
my taxes.
So hey, this week's food is brought to us by Doghouse, and by brought to us, I mean we went there, bought it, and brought it back here. So it's not.
wasn't
It's
brought
not
to us
really.
at all.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was brought to us by us.
But they love wieners, so that's sick. So
Also,
we're
Brian
gonna promote
forgot his mic, so we had to go back to his house and get it. So our food is just slightly cold, but it's not. We're not blaming him.
It was only like 5 minutes away, man. Calm down. Also, this is a chicken sandwich, like a spicy chicken sandwich. That's just like the bun is just like 4 King's Hawaiian rolls that they just like cut.
Yeah,
out.
same. It's literally just like it's 3 Hawaiian rolls, just like
They're just like, yeah,
lengthwise.
this is fine. This is
That's
fine.
a bun.
Dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this though. Holy shit.
Me too.
No, leave me
This is
alone.
great.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, guys, how are we doing? We haven't put out the first episode yet, so we're like talking to nobody at this point. But like, we will. Are they supposed to go on?
Oh, that's pretty good.
The thing, dude. This shit fucks.
Okay. I got tater tots because I'm just like a fucking 8-year-old. Who cares,
Dude,
man?
tater tots are great.
If you go to a bar and you don't order loaded tater tots, I'm gonna look at
Honestly,
you weird.
yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is like what they're specifically for. Those situations. You good?
Yeah, I
You want water?
just like swallowed too hard.
That shit hurts, dude.
Yeah.
It like resets your whole life.
It like hurts like down here.
It
too,
like it
in
travels
your,
the whole
back.
way down,
Oh.
and you're like
Oh,
and
it's
it
the
finally
worst.
gets to your stomach.
Holy shit. We apologize for our squishy mouth sounds. No, we don't. We don't apologize for that. It's gonna be great.
We're trying to remedy that situation. Like we put the mics a little farther back. The food isn't as. I mean, it's kind of squishy, but like. Last time we had forks clinking. We literally specifically, Brian said this morning, no forks, and so
Even though I was the only one eating with a
He's the
fork,
one with the
it was
fork.
more for like my own.
he
like,
called himself out, which like I
hey,
appreciate.
You gotta know where
You
your
gotta be able
faults
to call
are. Man.
yourself out.
It's like that's how they do interviews. You know, it's like, what's your biggest fault? I'm like, I eat with forks. I'm sorry.
My biggest flaw is that I'm too reliable sometimes. It
Dude.
scares me.
Those. Anytime someone's just like, I'm like too much for perfectionist, I'm like, 1, you're clearly not, so shut up. And 2, that's not like a negative. Like you're, they always tell you like never drag
Spin it.
yourself.
Yeah. They're always like, make your positives like your weaknesses your strengths. I'm like, no, don't. That's fucking dumb. And it's so transparent.
I would rather have someone be like, oh, you know, like I'm bad at this,
Yeah.
but this is how I'm trying to better myself in that category. I'm like 6. So
Right.
you've recognized that you are bad at something.
Yeah.
Or at least like not as good.
Yeah.
And you're
Taking steps to
exactly
remedy that.
I would much rather have that than someone be like,
That's super valuable.
I'm too reliable.
Yeah, like I turn things in like too early sometimes, and then my coworkers get mad at me. I'd rather have someone come up to an interview and be like, "Yo, what is some of your weaknesses?"
Yeah.
Well, I've killed 3 people, but I'm like in rehab. Like, okay, great.
I'm in murderous rehab. That's just
Murder
called
rehab.
prison, man.
No, they have specifically
you
like
out?
day spas for murderers where they like go and like they stay behind like locked doors, but it's not prison. It's a rehab center for people who murder people.
It's like a drug addiction thing, but it's just exclusively for people murdering you. So like all the commercials are super uplifting, but like cut together with like pictures of grisly murders and shit.
Does this look like you? You might need help.
Probably more than we can afford, but hey, we're gonna try to eat up as much of your insurance money as we possibly can.
Dude, so that reminds me. Speaking of,
What does that remind you of?
speaking of grisly murder, speaking of like crimes, so there's this app. It's called Citizen.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
It's called Citizen, and I don't know if you have it or not.
I don't because I'm scared of it.
It's great, honestly. So for those of you who don't know, I didn't know what it was until like 2 weeks ago. I'm assuming it's like it's big in like major areas, but like big cities and stuff. It's basically an app. and you set like your home location, and then it'll give you like a notification anytime there's like a crime or like an incident. I mean, it's not always like a shooting. It's always like, sometimes it's like
a traffic stop or some shit, or just like someone like knocked over a liquor store.
Yeah.
Because this is the 80s again, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Hold up. Let's pause. Sorry.
Am I invading something?
No, man. We have a podcast.
How
Sorry.
dare you invade your own
Y'all
kitchen?
talking
Man.
about Citizen?
We're talking about, dude, it's such a...
Citizen hits, dude. Whenever a police car goes by, like, I wonder what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
just check
exactly.
The app. Yeah. It's fucking great. It's amazing. That's the most I've seen that guy in 2 weeks.
That was not what I expected.
I know.
That person to look
I
like.
know. All right, so basically, tells you whenever there's like an incident, like, traffic stop or like minor collision, whatever, and then within like a mile of you. But you can also go, maybe it's like 2 miles, whatever. But you can also go on the app and like see all of the crime reports for like the whole area. It just doesn't notify you of that. Mm-hmm. And it's always for like the last 24 hours, last news cycle. So I went on because I got a notification that there was like a shooting or something like that earlier, like a street away, and I was like, oh fuck. So then, but I looked through some of the other things. Dude, it's great. All right, here's some headlines. From
Let's go.
From Citizen. Report of man shooting at crows with a shotgun on Kent Street in North
birds
Colorado.
in LA? I thought they all died in like the 70s.
The best part is it's like social media too, so like you can like react and comment on these things.
People are like just hitting it with like a hard
like,
YouTube
what the
cover.
hell? Yeah. Here's another one. Report of knife-wielding group riding scooters.
They're all just like
They've all got a knife and they're on their birds. They're like,
they're on birds and they've like taped knives to like the handles, so they're just holding onto the knives. That'd be so funny.
Report of man brandishing a trash can lid.
It's just Captain America.
It's literally
What the fuck are you talking about?
Cosplaying. Leave him the fuck alone. Man making threats armed with wine bottle, and then like it tells you the person who
I like how they
reported it.
constantly say like armed with, and I was like, dog, that's just like some glass.
Yeah, like he's got glass. But like, if the person who reported it comments, it has like a little like red symbol next to them, so you can tell like they're like the OP or whatever of Citizen of the report. And so this guy's like, okay, so I was literally walking on the sidewalk and he threw a glass bottle at me. I called the police, and then everyone is like, they're like, dude, that's just like, why are you like filing a report? It was like this. It was probably a bottle of Mark West. I swear, if you don't come with me, I'll sit down and drink this whole bottle. And it's just people like fucking around and being like, why did you report that?
I love how this app was created to fit a need that people wanted to understand what was going on in their neighborhood, and it just immediately went to like shit posting and comments and stuff.
Yeah.
I love how quick that happened.
I know, dude. If you give access to something to a large group of people with no barrier of entry, it's gonna get ruined
Absolutely.
immediately.
Oh yeah. Look at Reddit.
I know.
Reddit's a nightmare.
Right. I mean, Reddit is at least like moderated. Like, is 4chan moderated? I don't know if it is. To the extent that Reddit is, at least.
I actually don't know. I don't try to spend any time on 4chan.
I don't go on 4chan
because it's
whatsoever.
scary to me.
Shit's terrifying.
So
But
usually I just find green text that people post to
Yeah.
Reddit. So
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, cool.
r/green text.
Yep.
You don't even
Yep.
need to leave Reddit.
Exactly.
Safe ecosystem for the most part.
For the most part, except
Feels
for
safer than 4chan.
except for all of like the people like giving you death threats and like making like very racist comments.
That's true.
They win some, you lose some.
But yeah, literally, it's just like any given day, you can scroll on there. My favorite is the knife wielding group on scooters. Like, do you think they were kids?
Like those kids that we saw earlier today. We stopped at a stoplight on the way back over here, and these kids were just like sitting at like an intersection, and one of them had like a sweet little like mongoose BMX bike. And you know how like you always have like the seat kind of tilted up because like you sit like low on it when you're actually sitting on it. This kid's just like standing there, just like hitting it as hard as he possibly can, and we're just like watching him for like
He was just
solid minutes, just going
He
to
handed
fucking town.
his drink to his friend. He's like, please hold this.
They, like,
he
got
just
out of the Carl's Jr.
slamming it. I wonder if they like went through the drive-thru. But like, do you think these guys all met up beforehand and they're like, all right, boys, tonight is the night. Like, we're gonna rent birds and ride around with the knives, brandishing them. They weren't even like doing anything. It was just like the report of they saw people with knives on scooters. Think about that. How many people do you think like
Where are their
we're
parents?
in the exactly, but also like how many people have to be in that group for you to like recognize it as like, oh wow, that's like a big group of people all carrying knives. Like
You
if
think
it's
that
like
was,
one
like-
person, it's like that's kind of weird.
You think they made like a Facebook group for it, like a meetup, like an event?
Bird knife day.
It's just birds with knives.
And then the one guy who was shooting at crows didn't understand what it meant. He's just like, so we like bring knives, shoot at birds with our knives.
Loads a knife into the end of his shotgun and shoots it at a bird. That's how guns work,
That's
right?
how guns work.
That'll
I
be
think.
fine. It won't blow up.
From Indiana, we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's a great app, and I highly recommend. If not just to like be in the know, because it is kind of interesting. Like, you know, it makes me feel a little safer. Not that I ever feel unsafe, but it's kind of like nice to know what the fuck's going on around me. Like, if I'm going somewhere at night or whatever.
No.
But it is also just like very comedic. It's like, this is what's going on.
You just gotta find like what makes it for you, you know? So it's just like
Exactly.
in this situation, it's just like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of insane moments just happening. And we live in a city that's just like filled with insane people. I don't mean insane like a negative context. I just mean like kind of like outgoing people. That was just like the word I used for it. And so I feel like, yeah, that's like we're bound to have more just like crazy shit happening.
Oh, yeah.
Especially now that like just somebody can throw it in an app. Like it used to be just like, oh, you get like a police report or something on like the morning news the next
Right,
day.
like a day later.
Yeah, now it's just like, oh, it's just some fucking dude walking around outside with a baseball bat. Like, let me throw that up real quick.
Take it. And the thing, like, you can take pictures and videos of it too.
Oh, you can?
You
Oh, I
can,
didn't know
and
that.
You can post that with your original post. I don't think there was a picture with the knife brandishing scooter people,
Damn.
because I would have loved to see that. Can you hand me a napkin?
You need another one already?
Dude,
My God.
I eat like a child, all right? Heads up.
You're just a large
You guys
child.
are in for a long ride because there's always shit on my lap, always shit on my shirt. I've just stopped wearing white altogether.
It's probably for the best, I'll be honest with you. I already don't really wear a lot of white.
Right.
And every time I wear a white shirt, I immediately get something on it. Like it does not matter like what it is that I'm doing. There will be something that ends up on the shirt.
Yeah.
Especially if I just cleaned it. Oh, it's the fucking worst, dude.
Yeah.
I can't even like imagine something else happening with it.
Wow, we've already been going for 20 minutes.
No, it's 12.
12 minutes. Oh, it counts
12
upward.
minutes, 24 seconds. You're killing me, my guy.
I thought it counted backwards. I thought you
No,
said
no,
it for 30. No. Okay.
Well, I was gonna do just like a timer, but then I was just like, oh, it's gonna make some. Oh my god.
That's the other thing I'm scared about. For this thing, if we eat too fast, we're just going to be burping into the microphone.
Yeah, the chicken is already coming back. Like it's coming back for round 2. Not stoked on it.
Although
but
there's
hey,
somebody that's bound to be into that, you know? And we're giving it away for
like
free,
burping.
baby.
We should get what we should do is we should have just like our normal mics, but we should buy one of those like weird like ASMR ear microphones and just like put it like right here and just see what happens.
Start a Patreon. Release these for free, and then start a Patreon where we release the audio from the ear mic.
I feel like that would be so great, just like as a novelty thing to just like knock away. Like it wouldn't
That
even
would be
it would
hilarious.
not like add to the content whatsoever.
Not
It
at
would
all.
just be like this weird thing. Which
It would be
go.
fucking hilarious.
That would be
dude.
so funny. Do like a VR experience for one. You know how like Pornhub has that?
No, actually, I
No,
don't
you do.
know.
Don't fucking lie to me.
I don't know that part.
Don't fucking lie to me, man.
What? Pornhub is VR. What's Pornhub?
Don't you have a shirt that's like a literal Pornhub shirt? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Dude, do you remember back when YouPorn tried to sponsor a esports team, like an LCS team?
No.
Yeah,
Really?
so they tried to break into esports. And like their like jerseys were kind of dope. Sick. That actually was fuck yeah. But their jerseys were like pink and white and like just had like YouPorn across the center
That's
and like
fucking
sponsors and stuff. And I was like, dude, that's kind of sick.
I love that.
And like the LCS was just like, no, you can't be a sponsor. And they were like,
Because it says porn on it? Because it's
Yeah.
like a family-friendly thing.
I guess.
But it's just a word.
Even the
It's
League
not
of,
like you're showing,
League
like,
of
a big old-
Legends is like such like a cancerous environment. Like you should not let your kids into that.
100% no.
Oh, it's the worst.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I feel like that's like, and that's also the interesting thing too, is like, I feel like Pornhub is like such like a successful business, not necessarily because it offers something that everybody wants, but like in the fact
Not
that,
me.
shut
Never
up.
watched porn.
God, you are the worst. But like in the fact that like their social media game has like been so great. And like they
Oh,
also,
yeah, dude, their social media is incredible.
like Aria and whatever,
yeah,
like everything
it's
she
great.
posts, I'm just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But like they like give so much money to charity and they do all these things and it's just like, yeah, why not? Like it's like
Yeah.
it's 2020. It's time to be like more like sex
Normalize
positive and
it.
stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
exactly.
it's like everybody watches it, everybody does it.
Yeah.
Like just calm down. It's
Not
not a
me.
big deal. God, you're the worst. You are the worst. And they like I just love it. I just love
It's
that like
great.
we're slowly getting there, and like we're like starting to like normalize like sex work and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
like I follow like a lot of like cosplayers and stuff, because
Yeah.
that stuff is like just so fucking
So
interesting
tight,
to me.
dude. It's so cool.
Dude,
so
the things
cool.
that the things that people can just make like in their garage in their spare
with
time.
like some foam board and some like cloth.
Oh, dude, it's so cool to me. And like a lot of them just like also have OnlyFans pages. Of
course,
and
yeah.
I'm just like,
Hell yeah, dude.
I was like, yeah, that's the next
Dude, if
logical
I could
step.
have an OnlyFans page, I'd be all about that shit.
Oh,
That's
same.
dope as fuck.
Oh,
Like,
it's incredible. Like
Yeah.
you just like send somebody a nude and they just Venmo you like $10.
I know.
Like fuck yeah.
That's fucking tight.
And
Like,
that,
hell yeah.
Like that one girl who like raised like
Ooh.
what, like $1 million
Yeah, for the Australian
And like
fires.
her parents disowned her. I was just like, yo, fuck
Dude,
you
she
guys.
is like,
She's a national hero to
yeah,
Australia.
It's
Go fuck
insane.
yourself.
It's insane.
Oh,
She
it's-
raised so much money.
Oh, it's so
That's
crazy.
a great idea. I mean, honestly, like, dude, that's fucking great.
Yeah, why not? If you
You're
if
an
you have it,
entrepreneur.
why not use it? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like that's the
exactly.
thing, and that's the thing that's always bothered me. Like people like talk so much shit about like models and like cosplayers, and it's
And there's
like,
like, oh, they're just like hot. Like,
yeah, especially like cam girls and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But it's like if you think about like how much goes into modeling, like
So
in
much,
general,
dude.
like it's so difficult.
Yeah.
like especially like just like for a photo shoot, all the shit that goes into it is
makeup,
insane.
the hair, the like you're on location for hours and like you're
Yeah.
tired, but you have to
Yeah,
like,
dude.
you know, yeah, totally.
And still roll with it, and then
it's
wear
acting.
like
It's
yeah.
literally acting.
Yeah, and wear
that's what
like
it is.
6-inch heels
Yeah.
for like 12 hours a day. Like
Yeah.
that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I once like wore a heeled shoe for about 3 minutes and wanted to
same.
kill myself.
It's the fuck. I couldn't stand up.
Yeah,
at
no,
all.
it was
Tried it on
awful.
the couch. Had to
on
sit
the
back down.
couch, get like the cushion, so you're just like, please, please, please.
So I didn't stand on the couch. I was sitting on the couch and I put the heel on, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this. And I stood up and I immediately sat back down because I'm like, I'm gonna roll the fuck out of my ankle, dude. I can't do this. That's insane.
I'll do it if I can do like a basketball player and just tape it to my
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
foot.
Just-
If I can do that, I'd probably be able to do it.
Yeah,
But-
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
It's a hard maybe. I'm still not
Episode
100%.
3, we're wearing heels.
But exclusively, but we're still gonna sit, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. But like when we stand up to like turn on the camera and turn it off again.
I loved like editing the first episode. Like every time I like walked away, and like the video would start back up. I'm just like right here, just like talking shit about the fact that I had to get up, and then I sit back down. I'm like, man, this is stupid.
And you just come back.
Yep,
That's so funny.
It's so great, and that's the
love
magic of editing.
That's the magic of editing.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
What a good career path
There's
that shows.
a Bo Burnham special, and he, like, it was on Netflix. So I'm just like trying to picture what he did for like the live performance, but like he was like, "You guys want to hear a joke about video editors?" And it just like cut it out completely
Yeah.
out in the special.
No,
which is
yes,
so-
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was like something about continuity, and then
Yeah.
it just cuts away
Yeah.
to like the end of the joke.
Yeah,
oh,
it's so
that was,
funny.
That was so great.
So good, dude. He's so smart. Have you seen 8th Grade? I know it's like an
yeah.
old movie, but
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good one.
Oh, it was so
I really
good.
liked it.
And that was like it's such like an interesting movie too, because I feel like everybody at some level can relate to it. Like unless
yeah.
unless you were the popular kid, in which case go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
But
hey, if you're popular, suck a dick, dude.
if you're one of the cool,
This is for outcasts only,
if
dude.
you're one of the cool kids in middle school, we don't like you.
Go
That's it.
away.
I mean,
You're
I
mean to my sister, Brett.
fucking called out. Damn, Brett, what the fuck you do? I was like, Nick knows like 3 martial arts moves that he got from like Mortal Kombat. So and
Up, B, double down, square. B and square on the same controller.
you're just playing with a Mad Catz controller,
Yeah.
like it's just bootlegged.
It's just there's an A, a Q, 3 triangles as one, on one button.
They misspelled Mad Catz like in the center of it. It's Mad Cuts.
Mad Cuts.
It's so
It's a
close.
DJ controller. That's like my DJ name. Yo, what's up, DJ Mad Cuts? And the building, bitch.
That's a dude who plays in like a dive bar in
Yeah.
like Long Beach somewhere. That's
Mad Cuts,
100%.
M4D, CUTZ.
That dude just like got his name from like he like randomized like the thing on Xbox Live
Yeah.
when he was in like 6th grade, and then just like changed the A to a 4, and he's just like using that forever.
What is it
And he's
with,
like
like-
30 now as a DJ.
What is it with like Xbox Live and like router passwords, specifically Netgear passwords that are default? They're always like an adjective, a noun, and like 2 numbers.
Nope.
Like
It's all bad.
Stealth Penguin 69
Yep.
was my router password for the longest time. Our Wi-Fi password here, our default one was Happy Desk 460. They literally just take. I know that they had someone write like an algorithm to pick an adjective, pick a noun, and pick like 2 to 3 numbers, and like that's like for every Netgear router, like this is our new password.
Where's the file that it's pulling all
That's
that
what I'm
from?
saying. Like I
is
think
it
they just have a huge dictionary text file.
That's
and
insane.
They're just like, parsing through it.
They put it in like a CSV, so it's like all different like columns and stuff. Just
I mean,
grabs them.
probably,
It's like,
honestly,
there you go.
probably what it is. Here's the adjective column. Here's the noun column. It's probably long as shit, too.
Oh yeah, dude. The one that always kills me is like the Google default passwords. Like when you make like a new account or whatever, and it's just like we recommend this password, and it's like hundreds of like characters that are all upper and lowercase
and,
with like
dashes
with like
and
numbers fit into it.
Yeah.
Because like I made like a Vanguard account to like manage my IRA, and when I did that, it was like it gave me one that was like 36 characters, and I was like. Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
guess.
might as well. It's probably pretty important. to
Yeah, so I
probably
like
not
took a
use
picture
the
of
same
it.
password.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, all of, like my financial shit, just like having the same password. So someone's just like, I'm gonna ruin this kid's life.
Hey, fuck you, dude. Yeah, holy shit.
All of my finance passwords are like over 15
that brings
characters.
us to today's sponsor, LastPass.
What is LastPass?
It's like a password storage thing. I don't know. It's like all the YouTubers talk about, like
I guess it's LastPass, NordVPN, SeatGeek,
HelloFresh
and Honey.
and Honey. Oh, Honey's a big one, dude.
Oh, I love Honey. It's never saved
SeatGeek
me.
is an app where you can buy tickets in literally the easiest way possible.
Yeah.
Use promo code David for your first purchase, for $20 off your first purchase.
Here's the thing though, is SeatGeek as shitty as Ticketmaster, where like they charge you like a $20
Oh, their
service fee?
fees are nuts.
Are they?
Dude. They're nuts.
Oh, that's insane.
Any third-party ticket website is
so
going to have
That's the-
convenience fees where like, what? Yeah, it's convenient because like, what are we going to do? It's not like the 60s. We're going to go like to
Right.
the venue
Right.
and stand
Because
in
usually
line.
they sell out in 20 minutes anyway.
Exactly.
It's
So what is
crazy.
convenient?
Well, also the thing that bugs me about it too is that like pretty much everybody always uses a third party to sell their tickets anyways.
Yeah,
You go
exactly.
there was like swipe up for tickets and you go to it and it's just a Ticketmaster thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're like, oh cool, like
Eventbrite,
$30
Ticketmaster.
for a show, like
Yeah.
that sounds sick. Open it up and your ticket's like $68
Yeah,
and I'm like,
literally-
go fuck yourself.
It's sometimes it's literally double the price of the ticket.
It's such a
like,
racket.
yeah,
That's
it's
so
so dumb.
fucked.
Like our TMG tickets that we are gonna buy. They're like,
Yeah.
oh sick, like $25 seats, and
Right.
they ended up being $60
Yeah.
a ticket, and it's like,
Oh dude,
damn, dude.
it's such a mess. I always
But the thing is, the shitty thing is, like, if that was going like to the performers or to the venue staff or to like the people working the show, like fine, whatever, I'll pay for that. But like, it's going to Ticketmaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% of it goes to
for sure.
Ticketmaster.
And it's just like because they can set the rate because
Yeah.
like nobody else is
they've
really
monopolized the fucking market. They've
Exactly.
got Eventbrite and Ticketmaster, and I guess SeatGeek now. But like,
Yeah. I think
no
like,
one else.
And like there's Golden Voice, but Golden Voice is just a promo company.
Golden
right?
Voice is a promo company, and they're like, I guess they kind of do stuff all over the place, but like, yeah, they're going to be selling their tickets through third-party distributors, which
Yeah.
is nuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just the whole tickets in general just like scare the shit out of me because like box office or something like that. If you go to buy like a movie ticket, like through Fandango, which apparently people still use, or like if you do it through like AMC A-List or whatever,
Yeah.
like the service fee is only like $2.
Yeah, super
And so
cheap.
it's like cool. And especially like in LA where like a movie ticket is like $16 already, which is why like A-List is the most like viable way to do it.
Right.
Like on a Fandango account, it's like $2. And even still, I was just like, man, that's kind of
Yeah,
shitty. Like
yeah.
especially in South Bend where like
Oh
a
my
movie ticket
God,
was
yeah.
like $6.
So cheap,
I was like,
dude.
fuck
So
you guys.
cheap, yeah.
But like here, I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But like, it's so strange to me that like a box office service like that charges so little, but like a music promotion service charges so much. And I feel like in that situation, Ticketmaster has more things to promote than
Yeah.
like Fandango or something.
Yeah.
Because Fandango is just like, hey, these theaters, these times,
Yeah.
sure, they can charge you a service fee for each one of those, yes.
Right.
But like Ticketmaster is doing it for each individual act, for each individual show that they play over
Right.
like the course of a full year,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's people that are like selling tickets for like $10 a show to people who are selling tickets for like $1,000 for like a floor seat.
Right.
So it's like that's insane to me because it's like what?
Yeah.
How much money does Ticketmaster make? Have they gone public yet?
So much money. I don't know, actually. It'd be interesting to find out. But dude,
Probably
they're
dump
making
some money into that.
Yeah, honestly, like fucking seriously, people are always demand for tickets. But yeah, I know. I mean, they make so much money. Dude, Fandango. Holy shit. I haven't thought
Yeah.
about Fandango. in
Right?
So, what
Well, Megan-
what is it?
Megan brought up, she was just like, I have a Fandango gift card. And I was like, who are you?
Like, what is it though? Like,
It's
what
like,
is it?
It's basically, so have you ever used AMC A-List?
No.
Basically, it's just a service that allows you to like reserve your ticket without going to the box office. So like you get your ticket, you show up, and like most places have like a little thing, like you just show them your Fandango account or whatever. They scan the code, ticket pops up, they hand it to you, go in.
But don't most theaters now just have that built in? Like you go
little
like
bit.
Cinemark.com and you can buy a ticket
I
on
think
their
so.
website.
I think so because like even with Fandango, like it basically like routes that functionality to the app and you just pick
Right.
it. And especially now with like A-List, like that's literally what it is, but just for AMC theaters.
Right.
And like I pretty much only go to AMC theaters anyways because it's kind of like the closest ones to me, like
Yeah.
up in like Burbank and everything.
Yeah.
So like the whole time it's just like Fandango kind of like kicked off this whole thing, and then MoviePass pushed it a little further, killed themselves, and then basically made every other company decide that, oh, this is the route that we have to go because this is what people want, and now they can just make a shit ton of money off of it, because it's like, think about it, if you get 3 free movies a week with AMC A-List, it's $20 a month.
3 free a week?
Yeah. So it's $20
That's
a
not
month.
bad.
It's $20 a month. If you go to a movie at an AMC in LA twice, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
So
easy.
like, basically the way I look at it is that like here it's a lot more viable than say somewhere in like Oklahoma, because like you pay $20 a month, you go see 2 or 3 movies a month. Like, yes, it does pay for itself, but like the price or the amount that you have to hit, like the volume is much higher than what it would be here.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, is it more viable or cost effective for somebody to buy that if they see, over 2 movies a month? Or not.
Right.
So
Well, I
like
guess
it
it depends on-
it kind of comes to that too. And also like, the formats of how you want to see it too, because you can see it in any format.
IMAX
Yeah.
too? Really?
Yeah.
So
So you can
it's
get
3 a week?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep.
In any format. You
Yep.
could see 3 IMAX movies a week.
That's why I like always just like try to go to like the Prime showings.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So does it count for like midnight premieres or probably not? There's probably some
I think it
restrictions.
does. I think it
Really?
does. Yeah.
That's
I'm
kind
not-
of insane.
I haven't like gone to like an early screening in a very long time. Like
Right.
just because
I don't. It's a hassle, dude.
yeah, I don't
And
want to.
they're
I don't want
late
to
at
go to a
night
theater.
and- yeah.
And like I've already driven an hour and a half from fucking work. As like I get home at 7:30.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to bed.
That's chill
So-
time. Interesting. Okay. Wow. So you can see literally 12 movies a month
For $20. Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, so you go in and it actually like they give you like points and stuff and rewards that you can then spend on like snacks and everything. So, and then obviously like the snacks are always marked up anyways, because most of the money from box office goes to the actual production, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So like, that's how they make their money. So like by them offering you the tickets and stuff like that, them cutting deals on the back end, they really don't lose that much money. But they're
true.
guaranteed people to come in and see stuff. So if like it's like one of those quid pro quo things where it's like, hey, we can guarantee you that people using this app
We'll come see
can
your movie.
can come see your movie,
Yeah.
and then we pay you the percentage
Right.
of whatever that works. And they're like, cool, yeah, if we guarantee that many, and then they're just like, cool, now we make money because more people are coming to get fucking ices and stuff like that
Yeah.
because they didn't have to pay for the movie ticket.
Sure.
So
now
like,
they're going
it
to spend the
offsets
money that they would have paid for
Exactly.
the ticket. So how does that work with like, I've always wondered, is it like a royalty based thing where it's like, so like say I made this movie, right? And it's being shown in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like what, like typical for like an MGM or like a Universal movie, like big ones, like
Mm-hmm.
how do they collect earnings like from theaters? Do you know?
Genuinely don't know. I
was wondering about that.
I feel like that would probably be more of a question for Griffin, my roommate, just because he knows more about like the ins and outs of like movies and stuff like that. I just work in them.
Yeah, sure,
So it's just like I know that like the majority of the money from the box office goes to the production, if not all of it.
Okay.
So like movie theaters don't make that much money off of the actual movie, but by offering more movies, it means that they get more markup on like things that they can sell. So like if they sell like food, drinks, all that stuff, usually that's what makes them the money, and then they get the subsidies from the theater because they're just like, hey, we're offering this movie. We're like the only one in the tri-state area that has it. Like, come buy shit here. Like that's usually the way that I've been told and like kind of envision it. But I'm not 100% sure. That's an interesting question.
Interesting. Well, maybe we'll have to have Griffin on the pod.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be actually
Yeah.
kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing from like these apps and like moving and stuff like that has like really just kind of like changed the landscape of kind of almost like every industry in a way. I feel like obviously there's some that like will be like renovated inside of it, but like direct to consumer, like a lot of things have completely changed. So like you have, Spotify and stuff like that. It's changed the way that like we ingest music.
Oh, yeah,
Like it's all
100%.
subscription based. Like subscription bases are kind of becoming
Everything is subscription
like,
based, dude.
even Adobe and stuff like that. And I feel
Which
like
sucks, kind of.
oh, it's
You used to be able to
frustrating.
just buy Photoshop outright for a couple $100, and now you pay like $40 a month. It's insane.
Oh, it's frustrating, especially considering, again, part of how I make my living.
Yep,
So I'm
yep,
just like,
yep,
fuck.
yep.
But at least I can expense that.
It's deductible.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fine. But like, I think like the way that it segues a lot too is how much it affects every other industry. So like, because people can now feasibly, in theory, can afford to go to more theaters, go to more concerts and stuff like that because like the accessibility to it.
Sure.
Like your transportation has to change and stuff too.
Yeah.
So like you have like Uber and Lyft, but like you pay per ride, and then that goes to like all these other
Dude,
things.
I wonder if they would ever switch to like a subscription service.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, do you like could that happen? Because
like they do that for like public transportation, like Metro cards and
Right.
shit like that. So like I wonder if they would ever, because it's smart. I mean, it would make sense, but also like
you'd also have to then hire all of the people to be your employees in order to pay them. You could you still could keep them as subcontractors, but in certain
it'd be a little harder.
in certain states you actually like if they work for you for a specific amount of time, you actually have to offer them like the same benefits that you would offer your full-time employees.
Yeah.
So like for me, working at a company, working on shows and stuff like that, if I work there for more than like 3 or 4 months, they have to offer me healthcare.
Right. Sure.
So like I got the email for that maybe like a year ago, and I was just like,
But that's why there's like, I mean, that's why they, I don't know, maybe that's not why they haven't switched to a subscription service, is because like there's so many loopholes with like big companies like that,
Right.
like Uber, Lyft, even like Snapchat. Like I have friends that, not that Snapchat's obviously not transportation, but like I had friends like right out of college. They're like, dude, I'm going to go work for Snapchat. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's so cool, whatever. And then like, they told me after the fact, they're like, this was like not an experience that I thought it was going to be, because it's like, so Snapchat, it's not like you're hired on by Snapchat. You're hired on by Snapchat as like an independent, whatever, for like a certain amount of time, anywhere from like 3 months to 12 months.
Right.
And, the stuff that you're doing, it all depends. And they have these like milestones that you have to hit. And like, so say you're working on like maps or whatever the fuck, like for filters and stuff, like you're just kind of optimizing like the maps and the locations and like the areas and stuff like that. And it's literally like they would have them working all the time, and they'd give them no benefits, and they'd give them, like very low pay, whatever. And then like 3 months later, like you don't know if usually your contract does not get renewed.
Right.
And like, so unless you're like a coder or like a whatever, but like
if you're actually like a Snapchat employee.
Yeah, exactly. But like most of these people are not, because they have so much Snapchat as a whole, just like besides the coding, there's so much that needs to be taken care of. Like,
and it's not stuff that you can automate. Like you could automate it, but the manpower to create the programs and the algorithms in order to automate it would almost offset the cost of just hiring people to manually do it.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's what they're hired to do, and usually they're not renewed, but they don't tell you that. And then once your contract is up, they're like, all right, thanks for working at Snapchat. Like, see you later.
This is really funny because my ex-girlfriend, when I like first met her, she was like starting her job at Snapchat, and like she was basically what she was doing was she was like part of a team that like took the maps, and they would have to like basically black out certain areas,
right?
Because it was like, hey, we can't show this kind of content around an elementary school, right? Like that's kind of fucking weird. So like she would go in and do that, and like I started learning about how shitty like Snapchat is like actually as a company. Yeah, because like they just like terminated her, like just straight up, like
Jesus.
Like a day or two before, they were just like, hey, you don't work here anymore as of like Wednesday.
Whoa.
And it was like, and I was like, you can just do that to like contract employees. You can just show up and be like, hey, you don't work here anymore. Like leave.
No severance, because technically you work for yourself.
Exactly.
And we just kind of hire you out.
Right.
So
and like we're paying you $21 an hour, but like you still have to take that out of your taxes yourself, because like you're gonna get a 1099 at the end of the year. So unless like you put all the withholdings into it, like you're gonna end
up paying a shitload of money, because if you like were not cognizant about that, which like a lot of people aren't, because like if you're hired by a company, you don't think you're gonna need to like withhold your own taxes, right? Because but if you're a contractor, you do, but if you fucking spend that, they all of a sudden you get a 1099 at the end of the year, and you're like, all right, pay me $3,000, $4,000 in taxes, and you're like, whoa.
And like that's the thing too, is like with me, because like technically I'm not like I'm a contract employee for like every show that I work on. So I get like a 1099 from whatever payroll company like was paying me the whole time. So like this year, like I got everything from entertainment partners. And so the problem that I find with that is that I always end up paying quarterly taxes just to kind of like avoid it. So it's like every quarter I send like $300-$400 to the state of California to be like, hey,
here's my like estimation for the year.
Exactly. So like usually at the end of the year, like I usually end up owing a little bit more, because I always put 2 withholdings down, because like, I'd rather get the money up front and then pay it back than pay it now and maybe get a little bit back. So like that way, like I can at least use it while I have it. And then, as long as I don't blow like 40 grand in a year, I'm not going to, I'm going to be able to just pay
pay the rest off.
like $2,000. So it's not that big a deal to me. And it's like, it's frustrating because I see like there's a lot of people who get into that swing of it and like can't end up paying their taxes, or they just straight up don't know how to pay their taxes. So like they end up paying somebody else to do their taxes for them, that then like lowers the cost. They're like, I got so much money back. I'm like, yeah, but you also paid a dude like
Yeah.
$100 an
Yeah.
hour to file them for you.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all like offsetting costs and stuff. And like, yeah, it might be more convenient, but it's like, do you save more?
Yeah.
And it's just like nobody told you this shit.
Mhm.
Like nobody
No one
said
tells
it.
you that, dude. You learn it. You did the hard way yourself. Usually,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
insane.
And like that's like I'm very lucky that
Your
literally
brother-
my brother's
yeah, that's
job
great.
is like
That's
telling
awesome,
people
dude.
what to do with their money. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, Mitchell, help me.
Yeah, I learned the absolute hard. Also, by the way, sorry if we're talking about taxes, but this is, I mean, it's like, it's part of like
Yeah.
what we do. Like,
Right.
it's,
I mean, like,
you know,
like again, like we said in the first episode, like this is a lot of just like, the shit we would talk about at
Yeah.
lunch. Like that's
Yeah.
the point of this.
exactly.
And like if somebody's able to like garner a little bit of like information out of this instead of like just it being a comedic thing,
Yeah.
then sure.
That's
like
great.
that's kind of what we're going
Yeah,
for.
it's
Like,
kind
we
of the
just
whole
want it to
point.
be like an informal conversation about
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. No, but dude, I had to learn the hard way with Prism and filing as like an LLC, which we then turned into an S corp because it's I guess it's easier.
So you get paid into the S corp and then you expense everything as the S corp and then pay yourselves out of the S corp.
Yeah, which we didn't do this past year because it was way too complicated. But normally if we were to pay ourselves from Prism, like right now, Prism is just paid as an entity. Like checks are made to Prism, whatever. We have the Prism account and Emma and I don't draw money from it because
Okay,
we just
yeah.
want to have that Prism money for Prism stuff. And
Makes
it just
sense.
doesn't make whatever. We have our own jobs and stuff. So it's fine. But if we were to do that, we would have to be employees of Prism on paper, and we
Right.
have to W-2 ourselves if we're gonna take money from Prism. It's like, so, and I don't have a business. We don't have a business manager, so it's just like all like pretty much me doing the tax stuff, which like it's been very interesting to learn because like the first time we filed tax, and also we kind of got a little unlucky because like we weren't the ones who made the LLC in the first place. Like it was in college. We had like a manager who went to college with us. I'm not going to name names, but like we had a manager and he's like, yeah, we should definitely get you guys set up with an S corp or with an LLC or whatever. And we're like, oh, sure. Like whatever. I don't know what that really means, but yeah, okay. That sounds cool. Set it up, whatever. I don't know how. I'm slowly finding out the channels he went through to do that because now I'm having to be in contact with them about stuff.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, okay, cool. You guys are now an S corp or an LLC. And I'm like, okay, cool. But we weren't making money in college. So I'm like, why did we need to do this?
So you have to pay the LLC.
So we
fees
had to
on top
pay
of it.
we had to pay LLC taxes. So like, but I didn't know that. So the first time we actually filed taxes was when I graduated college in 2017. And then, so we file and then like a month later, I get hit with a $5,000 late penalty.
Oh my God. What?
From the IRS. I get mail from the IRS. It's like, hey, you owe $5,000 because you didn't file taxes for 2016 because you made your S corp in 2016. And we're like, fuck. So like, because you didn't file in 2016, you now can't file 2017 until you file 2016. So we're going to keep accruing late penalties for both 2017 and 2016. And so I'm like, oh my God. I mean, we got absolutely
Dude, that's a
fucked.
nightmare. Holy
But luckily,
shit.
we I have an accountant now that I work with. At least that helps me with tax stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, this is I can't, I don't want to pay. I can't. We literally can't. Like, I can't pay $5,000 right now for this. And then
You like just graduated
Yeah, I
college,
just
so like all
graduated
your
college.
money went into
Yeah,
like an
exactly.
obscene amount of like student loan fees.
exactly. And I just like so. He's like, okay, so luckily he really helped, and he's like, hey, listen, like all you need to do is provide a statement like, hey, you were a student in 2016, you didn't make this, you didn't make any money, whatever, and then we'll backfile with zero income, whatever. And because this is your first time filing, the IRS will be like, they don't want to fuck you over. I mean, they kind of do, but they don't want to fuck you over, right? I mean, everyone has to pay taxes, but it's kind of like a scare tactic, It's like
It's like, hey, we just need the money now.
yeah, we need you to do your thing.
Right.
So because of that, like luckily, like we were able to just be like, hey, listen, like we didn't know this is our first time filing taxes, whatever. And they forgave the debt. They were like, okay,
that's
cool.
nice.
They're like, yeah, they're just like, just back file it. Say you have zero income in 2016 and then, continue to file, but know that like, and so the guy's like, okay, cool. But he's like, you guys can't miss another, like you can't do that again. We're like, no, like we're not planning to, but he's like, yeah, like they're only going to be nice once. And I'm like, yeah, I can imagine.
For sure.
But, yeah.
That's insane, dude.
It's crazy.
So like if for other musicians and stuff like that, I mean, obviously it's different dependent upon, like what the kind of like field genre of music you're in, I guess. So like for most people that like work in like electronic music and stuff like that, is it mostly that, or do they get like paid themselves as like a contractor? Does somebody just write a check?
See, that's the thing. Like, cause I don't know. I don't have many other friends that are like in like multiple people groups. Like like
they're just like individual DJs.
Right. Like they're individual. Right. So I don't even know. I think a lot of them, I don't think they have they're not incorporated. They're just
Okay.
like they're getting paid.
They're like a sole
they're doing
proprietorship.
taxes with their own social security number and not
Got it.
like an entity with like an employee identification number in place of the social security number. So
Got it.
like I think it's a little easier that way because
That's
you're just
interesting.
filing taxes as yourself. Like this
Huh.
is my income. This is whatever.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. That's
so
been
crazy.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's like the thing. Like most like shows and movies and stuff like that will incorporate as an LLC
Right.
up front.
Mhm.
So like if something happens, they sue.
They're protected.
Yeah, they sue the
That's
LLC,
the
not
thing.
the individual person
Right.
inside of it and stuff like
Yeah.
that, et cetera. And then they pay you through the production so
Mhm.
that like when that money and stuff is closed, nobody can come back and be like, hey, like, you didn't do this
Yeah.
or whatever. Because they're just like, yeah, we fucking did. Like, here's the paper.
Right.
So like that's always like the interesting thing is like how like the business side of stuff is handled because
Yeah.
like no one thinks about that.
No one thinks
They're
about
always
it.
just like, oh, it's just like the movie star and a couple camera guys,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like, no, there's like a legion
There's
of accountants
so
back there
much.
being like,
Yeah.
all right, you have to pay these people at this point.
Yeah.
Like everything has to be like ironed out by those
It's crazy.
guys. And
It's
that's
insane. I will never understand it. I'm slowly learning more about it, but like
Dude.
it's such a daunting like part of everything that has
Yeah.
to be done.
Oh,
everything.
absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
everyone has to fucking pay taxes. And
Right.
it's like so scary.
Oh, it's
insane.
it's still terrifying. Like
Yeah.
half the time, like I look at it, I'd either just like call my dad and I'm just
Mhm.
like, hey, this I got this
Yeah.
paper, and
What
he
do
was
I
just
do?
like, all right, do this. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah,
And like that's
seriously,
it.
yeah.
And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But, hey, we work in entertainment. It's
Yeah,
fine. It offsets
exactly.
it because it's fun, right?
Yeah,
I don't
pros and cons. Anyways, so that was a pretty heavy conversation.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
I feel like though, like that's like a good conversation.
It is a good
It's
conversation.
something-
I think
something
it's
people can
I
do.
think it's interesting. It might be because like we're the ones involved in it, but like I am always interested to hear how like industries that I might not be a part of like
Yeah.
work on the inside.
Right.
Like,
And
I
it's
think
like it's such a
interesting.
cool thing too to just like learn about shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, like how does like Ford manage all of these
Yeah,
like
right.
people and like put all of this like money into stuff and like
Yeah.
make sure that like stuff happens when it's supposed to happen. Like I don't know. I feel like company infrastructure is very interesting just
Mhm.
in
Oh,
general.
super.
I guess like maybe not for the people who are gonna want to listen to us, but I mean I just
We'll see.
I personally find that to be fascinating.
I do.
So,
I think it is very interesting too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
so we
let's
file our
see.
taxes.
File our
It's
taxes.
only February, but hey, it's fine.
Well, S corp taxes are due a month before everyone else's.
Oh, are
so
they?
they're
Oh, I
due-
didn't know that.
They're due
Oof.
March 15th, so I have to. I sent everything off already. 'cause
Okay,
it's
well, that's
like
good.
yeah, but
Hell yeah.
it's
On top of
gotta
it.
be on
You're,
top of
you're
it.
an adult. You're a big
Yeah.
boy.
Adult, I'm big boy, big boy.
Big boy.
So this has nothing to do with anything that we just talked about, but I wrote it down because I wanted to talk about it. So I had this Uber driver last night. And dude-
Wait, last night?
Last night,
Oh,
literally
shit.
last night, dude was on some tinfoil hat shit. My guy, it was. And so
Was
first
he
of
like,
all,
wait, real quick. Let me paint a picture.
Okay.
And tell me how accurate this
All
is. Was it like a Ford Expedition with an InfoWars sticker on the back of it? And did he also have like an American flag, but like the Civil War one where it was like the circle like hanging from the rearview mirror?
I could picture that, but no, literally
Damn.
the opposite.
Fuck.
Literally the opposite, dude. I think he pulled up in a Prius, and
Already
big
states
guy.
this.
Like his seat was like way leaned back because he was like a big dude,
Hell yeah.
and just like I would not have expected. He didn't start talking right away. So basically, so we get in the Uber.
He's like feeling you out to be like, all
Yeah.
right, how far can I go into this?
Exactly. So a friend of mine is in town and she's recording some like she's a vocalist and so she's
Right.
recording at some studio in Hollywood and she's like, hey, like, do you want to grab some dinner or something like that? I was like, yeah, cool.
Sick.
So I was like, just Uber up here since you're close and then we'll get some food. So we ordered an Uber to go to this pizza place up here that was close enough.
Sick.
And so we get in the car and we, she lives in New York and she's like, I really want to, move out here and stuff. I'm like, yeah, like this is really great. I'm like, I can't see myself like getting tired of.
Quick aside,
Yeah.
in that vein,
Mhm.
I feel like the people when they move to New York have like an idea of like what New York is supposed to be. And if it
Yeah.
doesn't hit that, they're like, oh, I'll move to LA.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people that move to LA have an idea of what LA is supposed to be like. And if it doesn't hit that, they're like, oh, I'll move to New York.
Yeah,
And that's like
exactly.
that's not to like knock the people that like straight up go to a place like just don't like it
Uh-huh.
and so they trade and move out. But it's
Right.
like I feel like a lot of people have like a misconception about those two cities in
Oh,
particular.
100%.
And like
Absolutely.
if it doesn't immediately hit it, they're just like, I gotta leave.
Yeah.
But obviously, like there's things where it's just like, oh, there's more opportunity in LA.
Yeah.
Like, I have a bunch of friends that are like also like assistant editors and
Mhm.
stuff like that who are from New York that work there for like 5 or 6 years and
Mhm.
we're just like there's just not enough work here.
Right.
So they move out here and it makes
yeah.
sense.
No, it
So-
totally does.
Makes sense in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a
She's
quick
like,
aside.
She's like, yeah, I want to be out here. Like, it's great. I think
Hell yeah.
after I
Good for her.
graduate, I'd love to move out here. I'm
There's
like,
no
yeah,
snow.
like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, I think it's great. I think you totally should. I'm like, I mean, I'm like, I've lived in Indiana for so long, and I I can't see myself getting tired of the sunshine and like of this and whatever. Like I'm sure if I if I do, it'll take a couple
long
years.
enough timeline, maybe. But
yeah, for sure. But I'm like, for the time being, like it's great. Like there's no negatives to as far as like, besides the price. But you're already in New York, which is expensive as shit. So like, it's basically the same thing, just warmer.
Which is like, it's basically the same price as LA, like New York, but everything is like half the size.
It's smaller.
Yeah,
it is
like,
smaller in New
for
York.
this size of an apartment in New York City, this would be.
Oh
like,
my god!
Oh, I don't even want to.
I don't even want to
try.
think about it.
I don't want.
I know. Yeah, just ridiculous amount of money. But so whatever. We're talking about that. And then, we're going to this pizza place, and it wasn't far. I think the car ride was going to be like a 9-10 minute car ride, but it was a little cold. Didn't want to walk. So it wasn't very long. So we were talking about this for maybe a couple minutes. And then the dude who's just been silent the whole time, like no radio or anything, just silent the whole time driving.
It's just the sound of just like the rubber just shitting all over the road.
And then he's just like, nah, he just says that. And we're like, what? He's like, don't come here. And we're like, she's like, what? And I was like, wait, huh? He's like, just stone cold, like this whole time, like just staring at the road. It's not worth it. And we're like, what's not worth it? The sunshine. And we're like, okay, hold on a sec. What the fuck? And then he starts talking, and then he like
Is that
kind
like
of
the same like frame of voice that he was saying it too? Like
no,
just
exactly
really
like that. He had a very like quiet, very deep voice. Like I couldn't
terrifying.
hear him at first because it was like
terrifying.
very deep, but it was like, yeah, like it's not worth it. And I was like, okay, holy shit. And then
This guy's gonna kill you.
yeah, and then I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then he kind of turns around and like starts talking, but he started talking about like the homelessness population at first. And I'm like, okay, maybe like a fair point. He's like, yeah, like everything's so expensive here, like whatever. So like, he's like, if you're going to do it, make sure you have a plan. And I'm like, oh, 100%. Like that's yeah.
You should do that before anything. If you're moving to Iowa, you should have a fucking plan. What the hell?
Exactly. He's like, so just, like it's, people come here, like they just kind of jump in for the sunshine and stuff. And, they realize they didn't have a plan. And then they end up like, they might have a job, but they're on the street or whatever. I'm like, no, I totally agree with you. Like, yeah, the homelessness epidemic is like a thing. Like it's, everything's
That's
so
all over
fucking
the country,
expensive.
too.
Yeah, all over the place, not just here, but and then so I'm like, yeah, like valid points, whatever. And then he like, keeps talking about that. But at this point, it didn't become a conversation. He was just like talking, and like we were like, oh, okay, yeah, yes, or whatever. But he like talked the whole time. So we get to this pizza place, like after he said like the whole homeless thing, it was closed. So I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to put in another destination for pizza. So I put in another place like up on Lancashire. It's like another like 5-6 minute drive, like not far. Put that in. I'm like, okay.
Wait, was it like, it was like,
Pitfire.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love Pitfire.
Yeah,
The one that's like right in the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I put that in as a destination, updates, and he's like, okay, we're going to go there. So then he's like, but it's kind of like controlled. Like they want people to be homeless. And I'm like, wait, what? Who? He's like, the people building these things.
The government.
Yeah, but it literally like went into that. He's like, so we start driving to this other pizza place. He's like, the people building these apartments are intentionally trying to make everyone homeless. And I'm like, wait, what?
I feel like that's counterintuitive.
Yeah, I'm like, he's like, you realize how many apartments there are? I'm like, yeah, because there's a lot of people who live here. He's like, yeah, but they're very expensive. I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, it's Los Angeles. I mean, it's kind of just like the whole thing about it. It's like, it's give and take. You got to pay a lot if you want to live here. It's a nice place to live. There's a lot of opportunity, whatever. And he's just like, but then he basically just starts saying like, by like in a couple of years, like everyone's going to be on the street, and the only people living in these apartments are going to be movie stars and hedge fund managers who have like millions and billions of dollars. And we're like,
why
I'm
are
like,
those the two?
I know.
The
He's
two
like, he's
people.
like, oh, and people from other countries. That was also, I was like, what? Okay, first of all,
well, that actually is kind of a big thing. It's like like a lot of like Chinese business people will like buy property in LA and just like never use it. Like they'll just come like hang out or something for like a week or two and then leave. So like I can see that argument.
It's not like he was totally off the rails. Like I was like, okay, that I can see where you're coming from these things.
It's not stacking up well right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it escalated. So he's like, yeah, like whatever. The only people who are going to be living in these apartments are like, whatever, these people. And I was like, they have like nice houses in the hills. Like I don't think they're going to want to come down into the valley and
for sure.
get an apartment.
Everybody already talks shit about the valley. Like no one's going to want to do it.
No one's going to do that. And he's just like, yeah, but he's like, have you ever heard of See, and I can't remember the name. I cannot, but I Googled it last night because I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And it turned out to be some like weird conspiracy thing. It was like a name and then like a number at the end. It was like an Area 51 type of thing, but it was not Area 51, but he was like, he's like, basically, the higher ups are drawing, they have a picture of a map and they're drawing red lines on the map. And I'm like, what does this mean? And luckily, by this time, we pull up to Pitfire.
What is this guy's Uber rating?
I don't know, but I'd have to check it out, actually. We pull up to Pitfire, closed. So I'm like,
what time was this?
It wasn't even, it was like 10, but it's Sunday, I think. So I think that might have made a difference.
Yeah.
So it might even, I think it was like 10. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, let's just go back to my apartment and then we can figure out where to go from there. So I put in my apartment. And so we have like another 12-minute drive and he's like still talking. I was like, hey, sorry, man, we got to go back. Like these places are closed. He's like, okay, cool. Just update the destination. And so he's like, yeah, so people are drawing red lines on the US and putting big X's through them. And basically they don't want people to live in these areas. They're controlling where people are going to live in the future. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, okay. But I'm not like going to argue with this guy. I'm just like, oh, really? Interesting. And he's like, yeah, like, he's like, pretty soon we're all going to be, all millions of us are going to be crowded in like one small area of the US and the rest they're going to use for like developing secret shit.
He's literally just explaining the world of Blade Runner.
Yeah, I was like,
that's all he's doing.
Yeah.
He just like watched like Blade Runner the other night and was just like, man, this is what they're doing.
Like, this is so real. Man, everything's gonna be 30 stories tall, and there's gonna be people in high rises and flying cars. Be on the lookout.
And we're gonna have a vape pen that makes a hologram of a girl that you're gonna have sex with somehow.
Y'all ever heard of Blade Runner 2049?
It's like,
it's this new initiative. No, it's not a movie. It's an initiative.
It came out like 2 years ago.
No, it's an initiative that
what are you talking about? Dude, it won like a couple Oscars, man. I watched
I want you to believe that.
What the fuck, man?
But literally, he was like talking about like that whole time, just like spinning these crazy like tinfoil hat shit. And then we like get to my apartment or whatever. And then like I get out. And he's like, just remember, he's like, you move back. You don't move here. Like talking to me and then talking to my friend. And then with that, drove off.
Dude, that motherfucker is trying to determine where people are going to live. He's one of them. He's part of his own conspiracy. Fuck that guy.
It was so weird. It was
That's
so weird.
wild,
it was like a
dude.
20-minute being talked at conversation. Like it wasn't like he's like, have you heard of this? Like, what do you think? Like, whatever. He was just like, this is happening. This is what it is. Look it up. Have you heard of it? Look it up. Do this. This is what's happening. We're all fucked. And I'm like,
dude, there are so many people that just like double down on like their insane ideas.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the moment they're confronted with like anything that can like sort of poke a hole in it, they just like go even further into how far they defend it. They're just like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, my God. Like you should probably see somebody, but I'm not going to say that right now. As long as your insurance covers it.
I know. And like, Uber needs drivers, I guess. I don't think they do like
dude, it's
in-person interview. I think you just have to have a nice car.
That guy would get screened the fuck out of there so fast. Like, how funny would it be if like Uber does like an interview process where it's just two like higher ups at Uber just get in your car and you drive them somewhere.
Like undercover boss, but you don't know that they're like from higher ups from
and
Uber.
Like they get this guy and they're just like, what?
They're like, bro.
They just like deactivate his account, like tuck and roll out of the car, like while he's driving, just on a freeway.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude,
that would be so
crazy.
But yeah, dude, Uber drivers here are very interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I don't really have that much experience with them just because everyone that I get in, I just like purposefully don't say a word because I'm just like, the moment I say anything, they're gonna talk to me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
I just want to be silent.
Yep.
And I just don't want, you know, like
I'm already going to like a shitty part of Hollywood to like sit at a bar that's too expensive. Like I don't want this much social interaction right now.
Exactly.
It's the worst.
Exactly. And I think most of them understand that. Most of them like don't say anything, but like some of them, they just start saying shit right away.
Oh, dude, it's
like
crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh God.
Holy shit.
It's so weird, dude.
What's the time? What are we at?
25.
54 minutes.
Oh.
Wow. Holy shit.
That actually like flew by. Holy God.
Hey, we getting good at this podcast shit, homie.
Oh my God. A concept.
Yeah. Holy shit. Wow. But yeah. So what else? What's going on? What's going on in my life this upcoming week? I guess if we're wrapping up, I have a couple shows coming up.
Sick.
I have one in Santa Rosa, which is like North Bay area, on Thursday, and then one in Santa Cruz on Saturday, which I'm very excited about. And we have a single coming out on Friday.
Tight.
On
Which one is it?
it's Let Me Fall.
Okay, cool.
It's coming out on Friday on Tucker's label on Night Mode. So
that's gonna be so sick.
Dude, I'm so excited for that, dude. So the other day, a friend of mine that. Oh no, Dan from Gladiator.
Yeah. No,
So,
because like they follow each other.
yeah.
On social media.
He stream. I don't know if you saw the other day what happened, but he streams on Twitch, and I was watching his Twitch stream the other
I
night.
love Dan. I've only like hung out with him like twice, but he's just
amazing. He's so
he's
nice.
like he's probably the nicest
Yeah.
person I've ever met. He's like
cares
just so
very deeply
kind
about
like,
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's just like very, and he's very like free with like how he thinks and like how he like interacts with people
Yeah.
in a way that like I just don't see it very often.
Yeah.
And it's very genuine.
It's super
and
genuine.
I value that so much.
Dude's amazing.
Like, he's just so great. Such a good guy.
So he's playing his stream. He's waiting in a what was they gonna play, like GTA or something? So he's waiting for all his friends to like hop on Discord so they can get in this lobby and do like a campaign, I guess, online campaign. I think that's the thing you can do in GTA. I've never played it, but
We gotta build you a PC, man.
we do.
I'm getting
honestly.
tired of this shit.
I know. So he's like in the lobby, he's waiting, and then all of a sudden, and you know, like his chat's like kind of idle, and then all of a sudden you see Jericho pop in there. He's
Did he
like,
get raided?
He's like, hey, Daniel, whatever. And then all of a sudden you see, and I was like, whoa. And he's freaking out. He's like,
absolutely.
dude, like, honestly, like, that's so fucking cool. So
Yeah,
like Jericho
dude,
was like
raids are
rating
so
his
sick.
stream.
I love that.
And like, he went from like 5 viewers to like 200 viewers.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
And, you know, and so like someone, Jericho Tucker was like, do a shoey or whatever. And so like everyone's like, oh my God, shoey. So his chat's blowing up with shoeys. And at this point, his friends are in the Discord. And so like their voice is active on the Twitch stream. And they're like, do a shoey. And he's like freaking out. He's like, what? Like, what's happening? And so he's like, all right, I got it. I got this. I got the perfect shoe. Dude, so the chat's like still blowing up. They're like, oh my God, he's gonna get a shoe. But he's not like watching Jericho's stream, so he can't hear Jericho. And everyone in the chat is like kind of saying what Jericho is saying. He's like, hey, he said, not a nice shoe, because he was gone for like 5 minutes looking for a shoe. He's like, I got the perfect shoe. Not a nice shoe, like whatever. So
just like a shitty pair of Vans.
He
or
comes
some
back.
shit.
He comes back with the biggest shoe I've ever seen in my life. Big fucking shoe, basketball shoe. And he's like, this shoe is very important to me. And he tells this story about how
he's like a tall dude.
He's a
So
tall dude.
I'm assuming he wears like a
but that
12?
wasn't so it wasn't his shoe.
Oh,
but
okay.
He's like, this is a size 24 shoe. And he's like, I have a very special story about this shoe. He's like, this is like one of my, most prized possessions. And so he starts telling this story, and he's like, basically like his grandfather was an NBA coach or something like that for Dan's grandfather was an NBA coach. So he's telling this story from like when he was like 10. And he's like, we were at I can't remember the teams, Lakers, Clippers, maybe something like that.
Is Dan from California originally?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably one of those teams.
So it was some one of those games, and they were like, they had, like seats in the front because his grandpa was coaching, whatever. So it was him and his dad. And after the game, his grandpa's like, you want to come back to the locker room? Like, let's go back to the locker room, and with all the boys. And he's like, okay,
with the boys.
So
these like 7 foot tall men. He's like, what's up, boys?
Hello, boys. And so basically whatever he's like, I hear this big booming voice, and he's like, is that whatever his grandpa's name was? Sorry, Dan, I don't remember. He's like, is that blah blah blah? And he's like, he turns around and it's Shaq. Calling his grandpa by name. And he's like, whatever. So he's like, yeah, whatever. They hug. And then he's like, this is my grandson, Daniel. And so like, he's like, and Shaq like gets down. Dude, Dan is very good at storytelling, but he's like, Shaq gets down into my level. He like starts talking to me, whatever. And then, he's like, and then his dad's like, can we take a picture with you? Whatever. He's like, yeah, 100%. So like, he's like, he like lifts him up or something like that. And then
that's so cute.
He's like, hold on, I'm going to get something for you. Shaq goes to like his bag, comes back. He's like, these are my game shoes. He's like, I want you to have them. And
that's so sick.
He's like, this is Shaq's shoe. that he gave me. And so like everyone in chat's like, don't fucking do a shoey with that.
They're like, absolutely
yeah, they're like,
don't
no,
do that.
no, whatever.
Don't worry, I have another one. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever. So like he didn't do the shoe with that one, but it was like he's like size 24, like massive shoe.
Oh yeah, it's like the size of
Shaq
my
shoe
chest.
that he gave him personally.
That's
which is
so cool.
dude. So sick.
Aw.
But everyone's like, no, don't do
They're
the
like,
shoe with
absolutely
that. And so he's like,
do not
okay,
do
so
that.
he like goes, he gets a different shoe, and he's like, all right, guys, like you wanted this, whatever, like let's fucking go. He like pours, he's like, it's Modelo time, fool. He gets some Modelo and pours it in the shoe. He does a shoey on stream, and it was fucking amazing. It was
that's
so cool,
so
dude, because
cool.
it was
I
so
love
cool to
that.
see him getting like all this love and like all this like recognition and
Well,
stuff.
plus
'Cause,
too, like Jericho is now kind of starting up this whole new like thing in like the EDM space, and it's super fucking cool.
Yeah, super
and
cool.
I like every time he talks about it, like there's just so much passion behind like
Yeah,
what he's talking
yeah.
about. And I just think it's like really cool.
Yeah.
And for Dan, who has just like been in that space
Yeah,
for
so
so
long.
long,
Yeah.
to, like kind of have that rapport is
Mhm.
like that's so many things coming full circle that
totally
I'm just like
is. Yeah.
stoked about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
so good.
super
We should
cool.
for sure have Dan on this podcast
Dude,
at
we
some
should.
point.
He literally was like, yo, I want to come over and hang out and stuff, do some housewarming. And I was like, yeah, 100%. So like when I come back, I'll hit him up.
Dude,
But
absolutely. That'd be
I
so
think
much
it'd be fun
fun.
to have him on the podcast. I think it'd be fun to stream with him.
Yeah.
And,
we definitely should do that.
Yeah, we absolutely should. But dude, yeah. Oh my God. I think that'd be super fun. He works in podcasts. That's what
Yeah.
he does now.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't he work like for iHeartRadio?
iHeartRadio,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Every time like he pops up on my Twitter feed, because it's every now and then.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't tweet very often, but it was just like friends is like building a PC, so I got all the things, and
Yeah.
it was like all of his things, and then just like an eighth of weed.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
that's my boy. I was
Yeah.
like, I like this guy a lot.
Dude's fucking
Oh,
great.
what a guy.
He's great.
Damn.
But yeah, so that was super fun to watch. And just like,
That's
I think
so
the
great.
VOD is still up on his channel. And so like,
Oh,
you
fuck
can like
yeah.
go back and you like,
I should
run
go
it back.
follow him on
You
Twitch.
should. Yeah.
Just hit him up.
DJ_Daniel, guys, follow him. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Follow that man.
He's a wonderful dude.
He's great.
You'll no lack of content from that guy.
No, he's great.
But
But
what
yeah,
a-
that's the VOD still up on his Twitch if
Hell
you
yeah.
want to
What
check
a-
that
what
out.
a what a good upbeat story to
Yeah.
end a sweet little podcast
yeah,
on.
I think so.
Especially considering we went into like fucking taxes.
Taxes.
Like some fucking
hat.
some weird conspiracy
Conspiracy
theories.
theories.
It's fine. Hey, whatever. Well, hey, I hope y'all enjoyed that. We had a great little lunch. It was fun. We talked about things that are both interesting to us and also like useful for everybody else.
Yeah. So
And-
you're fucking welcome.
Yeah, I guess. Like, not only did we entertain you, but we hope you learned something from our experience here, guys.
Knowledge.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my dude. Real quick, do you see that Jake Paul is offering financial advice classes, financial literacy classes for a subscription?
That seems like an oxymoron.
It does, because he did that whole team 1000 thing. Did you hear about that?
Oh my
Drew,
god.
I think
there
Drew
was-
talked about that on one.
Yeah.
Drew Gooden talked about that in one of his videos or whatever. He like signed
I think
up. for
Curtis
it.
did too.
And Curtis did, yeah. But it's basically like he had this thing where you signed up with your parents' credit card, and it was like $7.
I like that you put in with your parents'
with your
credit
parents'
card.
credit card because you're 12 if you watch him, and it was like $7, and you get access to all my secrets of how to grow shit, whatever. So then it's $7.
Cool, it's just marketing, my guy.
$7 takes you to this page where it's like, click here to pay $67 more, and then you get access to it. But since it already had the credit card information, people just clicked it, and it just like there was no extra like authentication. It's just like, boom,
Wow, that is
you
so
paid $74
shitty.
and whatever. So like, you
Oh
get
my
access to things,
God.
but it got shut down. Like the website doesn't even exist anymore,
Good.
whatever.
Fuck that.
And now the other day he announced that he is offering for $20 a month like classes on social media.
First of all, don't do that.
Don't do
What
that.
the fuck? And one of my favorite things is like my brother is like literally a financial
Yeah.
advisor. Like he does that for a
Yeah.
living. And like he always talks he talks so much shit about like the personal finance Reddit because everyone's always just like, "Oh, you know,
Yeah,
I
like,
did
"Oh,
this
I
this
did
and
this."
this." And
Yeah.
he's just like, that is like such an astronomically like crazy chance that
Yeah.
worked for you. Like
Yeah.
that does not work.
It's not a law.
Yeah.
That's a circumstance. That's
Yeah.
not a rule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's always like I almost want to like see if I can find it bootleg somewhere and just send it to my brother and be
Oh
like,
my
just
God.
fact check this for me.
Dude,
I was like, just
honestly,
shit on this
honestly,
guy.
like,
That'd be
I would
so
be so
funny.
interested in seeing it. But yeah,
Oh.
he's offering
I
for
hate
a
that.
subscription service, $20 a month. I'll teach you how to grow your Instagram or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh my
Or
god.
be a YouTuber, or I don't know what it is, but it's like, why would anybody do that?
Oh, it's directly targeted to kids. It's for
Why
sure.
are kids? I guess if it's maybe for like starting a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
I guess kids want to do that. But like,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
holy shit.
That's such like a thing that like children would be stoked on.
Yeah.
But like that's just so predatory.
It
Which I
is.
mean, like has been that dude's the whole thing.
that's his MO.
It's
yeah.
just like stealing money from children.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
It's so shitty.
Piece of shit.
Wow.
Piece of shit,
Holy
dude.
shit. Jesus.
But yeah.
Ugh. All right. Well, it doesn't end on that much of a light note.
Sorry, I had to bring it
Jesus.
down. Had to bring it down.
All right. Well, hey, this has been the second episode of the Lunchtime Serenade podcast.
We'll see you guys next time. Middle of the day, middle of the week.
Totally missed that.